Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, I just want to talk to you about, you know what I'm saying, the deity that individuals call Ray, right? Because I'm often called Ray, you know what I'm saying, or it's signaled that I am Ray. Um, I am Christ, all right? Meaning I follow Jesus Christ. I follow, I'm a part of the body, okay, of Christ. Now, though there are several sons of God, there is only one and begotten. Okay? Therefore, if there is one body, right, and Christ is the light of the world, then spiritual warfare is going to occur within his body, and he will be the judge of the circumstances, that which is spiritual. And for him, all things are connected, the spiritual and the physical. Although the spiritual, okay, there is an order of operation, supersedes that which is physical. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, he's the judge of all things, right? Nothing is hidden from him. All right. But for those who went another way, it's written in Revelation, Christ asks, "How do you know me?" Okay? Christ asks, "How do you know me?" Now, if you go to Christ and he asks, "How do you know me?" and you say, "I know you as Ray," or you call him Ray, right? He's going to say, "Depart from me, ye worker of iniquity, I never knew you." He's going to know that you're on the left-hand side according to how you know him. If he is King of Kings, okay, then he would be the God of Egypt. Spiritual Egypt represents the world, this wilderness. So the fact that, he died on the cross for all matter of man's sake, you know what I'm saying? He would be the God of Egypt, which is Ray. But it does matter how you know Christ, because me as a Christian, I wouldn't know Christ as Ray. I would know Christ as Christ. But if you know Christ according to your knowledge, then your knowledge is evil, as is written in Genesis. Now man has become as one of us, meaning Christ does know evil, but he knows evil. And he knows what's good, and he knows the difference between the two. Man struggles with discernment. God does not. Therefore, in order to know the difference between good and evil, man must try all the fruits. And if that fruit be bad, then that man obtains evil knowledge, although it is always good to learn. And it is always good to have knowledge, depending on what type of knowledge you have, whether that knowledge is good or bad. So, if your knowledge of Christ is that Christ is Ray, and you recognize Ray as God, okay, then he's going to look at you as an individual that has evil knowledge, that has worked on the left-hand path. All right? Now, this is just in general. He could see clear to the center of your heart or what have you. But me not having that same type of knowledge that Masons have, but knowing that we're in spiritual Egypt, we're in a pyramid called Lucifer, no understanding certain things, okay? When individuals call me Ray and I don't know who Ray is, if I was Christ, if I was a part of the 144,000 or something like that, and I'm not, you guys, I'm just saying hypothetically, if I was, and you call me by a different name, I would say I never knew you. Isn't that what Christ says when isn't that what Christ says in Revelations? So you don't want to be going to Christ and he asks, "How do you know me?" And when he asks, "How do you know me?" that's a double entendre, because there's like, "How do you know me?" Do you know me a certain type of way? And there is, "How do you know me?" as in, how could you possibly know me? And if you know him as Ray, right, then isn't it written the Father and the Son are the same? So Do we separate the rays from the sun? Is the ray from a sun a different light than the sun itself? No. The ray you can't separate from the sun. It's the offspring of the sun. Okay? So ray would be mankind. Okay? And the little horn on top of the dragon that rises up is the baby, the unborn baby. That when that baby gets injected into the eye, remember the film Look Who's Talking, the God of this world, okay? The God of this world, okay, is mankind. Let every man be a liar and let God be true. Okay? The other day I struggled with my faith with great questions and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, I find this. You can always rely on the fact that God is telling the truth, and that in your confusion, the spirit of confusion that you're in, you would be a liar, okay, before God would be, right? Because you are the dependent of the faith that you believe in. You understand? God does not go to door like Jehovah's Witnesses. God does not ask for people to follow him. He doesn't ask you any of those things. Christ doesn't ask you necessarily any of those things except out of benevolence, knowing what you need more so than you know yourself. And individuals think they believe they know what they need, and therefore they gather knowledge in places where individuals starve, and in their long suffering, these things that they've never heard before, that are eloquent like Mozart, they go without, and spend all their money to foreigners who hate them, that put witchcraft on them, and they beat down their brother, and they beat him, and they tie him to a cross, and I wear a crown of thorns. I'm a fashionista, dealing with all these women, my skin like burnt bronze. They go to church though and listen to white people. So I say, fuck them all. You see, I need forgiveness from time to time from dealing with all these children who think that they older than a nigga, but they not. I think with my head on my shoulders. They go up on their belly. I see them by their impulses. We go two different ways. I'm stepping on their head. That's as close as a 69 as they get. We all come down with cancer and go to church one day, even if we healthy. But cancer won't forgive us. Not like God will. And in our own will, we can't forgive ourselves. We just become sociopathic. Understand that man is a liar, and God's work on the cross, that babies are born with a clean slate, not adopting the sins of their father, but having free will and their choices independent of their life. In the beginning, in the horn of a dragon, we see Christ, and Christ is God. But in the archetype of man, he is called Ray. That would make me a god of destruction. That would make me a reaper first. Then people want to come around and test me, not knowing that their brain works, or their spiritual affliction, or what type of trap that they're in. You understand what I'm saying? Treat me like shit. All I can do is ascend. I can't fall. They don't even know that they dead. If you were not Ray, then you've turned into a horse leech, a succubus or incubus. You see, these are creatures of the night, and the night represents things that are unmade in the book of Genesis, you see. An unmade things is man, as X-Men, mighty men of renown, you see. They have old spirits, or you could say that they have an old soul. Either way, these are hunters. When Jesus Christ bared in the cross, And he was crucified and became sin for man's sake. The Alpha and Omega is the ray of the sun that is in the horn. The horn represents power, and Moses came down from the mount with 2 of them. These 2 horns representing the 10 commandments. And these 10 commandments having power over the world, which is spiritual. The Bible was written on men's hearts, and their conscience is regulated. Who could keep a ray but forsake the sun? Only a horse leech, a creature of night. We are all reapers and vampires. I'm just a creature of daylight. You are a different kind. I don't need to judge you. I just discern your way and how you think. See clear to the heart your intentions. I can't get upset with you with things you haven't said, but don't think I don't understand what you thinking. I see right through you. I know your times and your places and your schedules and when you arrive and when we cross paths and the things that you say. You think you're peculiar and slick, but really you're no different than everybody else. I guess that's common sense, and you didn't know you had it because you were a narcissist and you thought you was great, but you're a parasite, a horse leech. You do lesser magic and take the goodness of others. You're rendering fangs to suck the blood out of a savior. A snake goes upon his belly. The upside down kingdom is your central nervous system, which represents information in the body that's passed by synapses of electricity. And this electricity, when it comes down, it goes into your body, and a body without a conscience is a series of impulses. Your brain is a calculator with no mind to regulate it, and therefore your desires are as is, your impulses are. Therefore, a man is not as he thinks, but according to his appetites. And with a shotgun, I'm riding passenger. I make a great hunter. I keep an eye out for niggas over Egypt. They call me Ray because I report to the Father, or a snitch because I pray, instead of calling me Daniel. Why tell them to fuck off when I can forsake them with my report? Think about what you're doing and who you're speaking to. The most powerful men are not the ones with wallets. The Illuminati is not hanging out high up in the rafters, but we're walking amongst you, eating out of garbage cans, looking more healthy. You looking like shit, but eating the chef's choice at the top table. Thinking that you king, but your health is declining, no matter the medicine. But you don't want to deal with the medicine I got, so the serum is stronger than the venom that you keep. You show me your fangs, I'ma knock out your teeth, and you worthless. You a creature of the night. Ray is the unborn baby. The Alpha and the Omega. In the beginning was God. Or God, and in the beginning was, and the Word was with God. And the Alpha and the Omega. Is this not human development and the life stages of a baby to adulthood to becoming a senior? Then getting buried back into the ground, no different than a seed in a womb? Is this not Ray? If it is heaven sent and good things come from God and he carries the gospel, would that not make him an angel or a messenger, and his life a flame of fire that attracts all the pests and the locusts, and they come around at nighttime, sometimes in the day. They've been working them long hours. Young children wake up early to exercise. I could tell that they're creatures. but not of the day as I am. And they all hate me. And I look suspicious. And I always fit the description because when you speak the truth, it's always your fault. Nighttime individuals always covering their ass. They go hide in the trees. You speak the gospel loud every time you speak the truth, and you speak with your nuts out, sounding like a lion. And they call you a chauvinist because they ain't never seen a man before. So the fact of the matter is, when it comes to the kings of kings, all the kings that you know, from any religion or any type of belief system, you won't be able to escape Christ. And you don't recognize him. You don't recognize Christ except for the name of Ray. But if you call me Ray and I'm a Christian, then I'm going to say I never knew you. Though I have forgiven myself along with myself, I have forsaken myself to go another way. And in that way, I've been sanctified and delivered. Ray being the god of Egypt, this would also make him the god of destruction. Understand what I'm saying? If you go into certain ways of living in which you're paid a wage, and you keep secrets and tell lies, then you know Christ as Ray. Seems like the truth always gets blamed. Think about it. Slander, bearing false witness, all these accusations. I don't have a friend or a girlfriend. I don't even have social media or a network. All I got is YouTube. I get less than 20 views. They kicked me off the internet for a year. And you telling me I got all these rumors and gossip also? I'm actually a targeted individual. I don't even drive a car. People is looking for me and know my schedule. You either see me as a problem or you see a bunch of liars and you turn a blind eye. You a part of the problem. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. I never knew you. If you see Christ in my life, then you shouldn't see Ray. If you see Ray and you know Ray according to the Bible, then maybe you should acknowledge him as Christ said, because I don't have secret knowledge as you. Ray is Christ. All right? Ray is Christ. And it's not the fallen estate of man. The fallen estate of man pertaining to Adam. All right? The world is ruled right now. He said it was be given into the hand of the wicked. So the world is ruled. This wilderness is ruled by Adam, who became a beast after he lost the Holy Spirit. So therefore, you know what I'm saying? If people call me Ray or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I guess they acknowledge Christ. And I know they said that he's coming back with a new name that nobody knows, which could be all the Rays or individuals that walk in the light or according to God. Right? But none of these things I'm familiar with unless I'm being called from an archetype that came from Hyperia or home or heaven as we all know it. But as far as individuals in such archetypes, that they're individuals and know me even though they don't know me and make signals as if I'm Ray, I don't recognize that shit. I know Christ. I forsake my life at the baptism. The archetypes and all these things and knowledges that I would need to learn to fit in with the common public. You just won't see Daniel eating at the king's table. You have to understand what I'm saying. I pray. I deal with other gods. I don't deal with fools that are sacrificed for idols. I sit at the same table with those I would consider to be heathens. If I have to, I'll give up my friends and my family, my hopes and my dreams. We all know I've done it. But how you gonna throw a party and miss the life of it? I know I ain't missing much. So the only thing at that party is drugs and bad situations. And this is the life of the world with all these heathens as Adamites. The fallen estate of man is the man that's unmade and the creature of night. But I do understand that we grow at different rates. Therefore, there's always hope for individuals to get saved. So I don't complain, even though I'm not always accepted in the church of God. It makes me wonder, whose church is it? Something to think about. But I wish people would stop blaming Ray. Whoever you're blaming or whatever, make sure that it's the truth, because chances are the first individuals get blamed are the individuals who tell the truth, and they end up being the victims and the martyrs of false witness and lies. Because truth is a principle, and those who speak it and carry it end up being the enemies of the world for some reason, because people rather point than have accountability. They haven't grown up since Eden, and therefore they are seared in their conscience, and they point out individuals and associate them with the God of death because they got killed on a cross along with the man of sin, and they're ruled by Ray instead of Christ. Therefore, that would make me a judge, and I can judge you. But I don't. I just listen to your accusations, and I listen to your pride. And in your pride, I hear your insecurity. Because why do you need to brag to an individual that doesn't know you, that goes by no one? Something to think about. Be careful what you say and the things you do, man. People in this world will cheat you out of $1. I know it. There were things we're gonna talk about and say that I'm gonna let slide. But even though I don't see what becomes of my enemies, I know they don't skip off into the sunset. Because who can escape their own mind? Peace and blessings.